Hi friends, welcome to the holidays at Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we celebrate Christmas here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we are going to be adding to the mantle decorations. I've already put the Christmas village up on the mantle. You might have seen that in my previous video. Today, now we're going to be adding greenery, swags of greenery across the front, and it's going to be gorgeous. So come with me and let's put some greenery onto the mantle. My Christmas decorating style is fairly traditional, I would say. In fact, I was looking at a YouTube video of another creator recently, and she was talking about different styles of Christmas decorating. And she said, well, traditional style, if you don't know what traditional style is, just watch the movie Home Alone, and that would define traditional Christmas style. And I thought, yeah, that's me. I decorate my house very similar style to Home Alone. So, you know, what can I say? I'm 54 years old. I grew up in a certain era, and that is what I love in my home. Today, we're going to be adding to the sentimental nostalgia of the Christmas village. We're going to be adding some green swags across the front. Now, I am a lover of fresh greenery. You know, that's the traditional thing. Bring the green inside so that it brightens up and reminds you that winter doesn't last forever. Spring is coming back, and the evergreens are there to remind you of that fact. And it's a wonderful way to have nature freshening up your home during the holiday season. And I love the red berries too. I'm just a traditionalist at heart. So greenery, evergreens, and red berries, that is my jam at Christmas time. I do have some other styles in my decor collection, but every year I seem to go back to the evergreens with red berries theme. No different this year. We're going to be putting a really thick installation of greenery onto this mantle. And if this style matches what you like, then maybe you could take some of these tips for your own home decor. We're going to be starting out with a simple swag that's going to connect to the mantle with cup hooks that are already in the mantle wood underneath the mantle in the edges and in the center. Now this garland is one that I bought, I want to say 10 years ago. And at the time, it was fairly expensive for me. I'm kind of a tightwad. I mean, I spend a lot of money on Christmas decorations, there's no doubt about it, but I get my bang for my buck. I don't like to pay full price for anything. I'm always shopping the sales, always using the coupons, and so this is actually 2 garlands that are both 6 feet long, and I have connected them in the middle just by tying their ends together. And I've been using this same garland on this same mantle for the last, well, since we lived here. Our first Christmas in this house with this mantle was in 2017. I'm pretty sure I had this garland before that when we lived in North Carolina, and maybe even before that when we lived in another town in Maryland. So it's old. I've been using it. There's nothing wrong with it though. What I like about it is that it has some of these really inexpensive El Cheapo kinds of branches, but it also has a few of these more realistic looking spruce branches. It also has pine cones already on it. I'll be adding all kinds of things to it, but this is a great base for a start. So I'm going to find the center. I have my cup hooks already on here from previous years, right there. So I'm going to put both of these things through the cup hook. There we go. And I put this garland here every year, so it's already bent to form what I like here. I feel like it's backwards. Do you see how all these branches are fluffed and pointed to the wall? I'm gonna turn this around. Apparently I built this with a left and a right. Who knew? Okay, try it again. Okay, so now all of my fluffy gorgeousness is coming out the front. That's exactly what I want. So these cup hooks that are on this mantle, they stay here all year round. They painted white, just like the wood, so they just disappear. No one ever sees them throughout the year. All right, now I may or may not be tucking this stuff, this batting, up away from the greens, but for now, I'm just gonna fight with it. There we go. All right, so that is my base greenery. Now, you can certainly stop here. It is lovely. It brings the beautiful evergreen into your home, and it's simple and simplistic and lovely in its own right. You could totally stop here. But why would I do that when I could be totally extra about it, right? So I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to tuck in these fluffy white stuff above and get that out of the way first, real quick, before we go any further. I think what I'm going to end up doing is getting some double stick tape, putting it on here, and then just pushing that up on there so that it just stays up out of the way. I'm just rolling it up and under. All right, so now back to the garland. So as I said before, you could leave it like this. It's beautiful already, but I would like to add some more greens to it. So let me share with you all of the options that I have available to me. Well, first, before I do that, I do want to say that the most beautiful evergreen garlands that are fake, I think, are the ones that look the most real. I love having greenery in my house that looks real. I just think that it is worth it. Now, they are much more pricey to purchase stems, garlands, picks, and so forth that look real. But if you do a few per year and build up a collection, then eventually you'll find that you have quite a collection of realistic looking evergreen stems and picks and, different options for yourself when you are starting to put greens around your house. So I have done that. And for the last 10 or 15 years, I've been purposefully switching away from buying fake looking things because they're cheap toward buying realistic looking things because they look realistic. And because they're pricey, only a few a year, but now I have quite a collection. So with that said, let's look at my collection of green picks that we could choose from. Hi, Lulu. What do you think? You ready to do the mantle? You are? Okay, we're going to do it together, okay? Okay. All right, so I have laid out here on my coffee table a few choices. These picks, these came from Michael's, looks like, and they're really nice. They had 4 stems, and they're very realistic looking with some cones on them. And they look really nice. I like that they have a variety of color, and they are made out of plastic, so they do have a little bit of a shine to them. But when you stand far away from them, which, mostly we do, they look very realistic. And so I'm happy with those. Now, this tag price is $14.99. You can bet I didn't pay more than half price of that. So I paid less than $7.50. Maybe I paid $7.50, 50% off, but I never, ever buy anything full price. This next option also came from Michael's, and I have been looking for these in the recent years. I bought these, I think, 4 and 5 years ago. I think I have 8 stems of it now. I got 4 one year and 4 the next year, but I haven't seen it at Michael's since then. But it has the most gorgeous drape on it. Look at that. It is so realistic. It's frothy. It has berries on it. It has multicolors. It has realistic looking ends of the stems where the new green growth would be coming. And they drape so gorgeously. I love these picks. I wish they had them still at Michael's. I've been looking last year and this year, and I haven't seen them. So I'm sorry, I don't have a source for you on this. But they're gorgeous, and I have 8 of those. Looks like I have 3 of these, which again is another pine-looking, fir-looking spruce, some sort of evergreen spruce conifer. This one has some pine cones on it that are a little less realistic looking than some, but they're pretty good. And it has some fake new growth on the tips of some of the branches as well. So that's kind of interesting look. Again, I think these are super realistic. And I like using these too. I think I have 3 of those. This is a bush that I've been cutting on. So I'll probably somewhere find the stems that I cut off. But I like to buy bushes and cut the stems off and use them in smaller projects. So I have 2 of these. One that's cut and one that's still whole. let's see, down there on the floor, I have one that's a mixed green branch. It's got some holly, it's got some pine or fir or spruce or whatever. It's got twigs, it's got berries. It's a mixed stem, and it's got, I don't know, it looks like it's 6 or 8 branches on it. It's a really nice one. In this bin are some garlands that I bought 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. And they're super realistic looking. This one is juniper with blue berries on it, and I love it. It does look so realistic. Slow down, Jenny, so we can see. Isn't that awesome? So I have that, and then I have 2 or 3 of these, which they're plastic, but my gosh, look at this. If I were to put this up here and string it in amongst this, would you know that it wasn't real? I mean, it looks very realistic. I have a couple of those. And then, let's see, maybe I have 3 of those. Maybe I have 4 of those. And then here's another one of these juniper ones. And that looks pretty realistic also. All right, so that's that. And then this year, while I was visiting my kids and grandkids in Minnesota, I went out to Bachman's and bought these. So I have 4 of these gorgeous hollies, which they look really super realistic, I think. And then I got 2 of these bushes, which I don't have anything that's shaped like this with these little teeny tiny clumps, and also these little berry things and the stems and sticks. So these were realistic looking too. I think it's meant to be some sort of arborvitae or cedar or juniper. I'm not sure, but I love it. I did not pay $14.99 for that. And then these were the holy grail this year. These are the Norfolk pine that everybody and their brother on YouTube, all the designer decorators are using these Norfolk pine branches. And we found them. It's quite a long story about it at Bachman's, but we did find them, and I got 6 of those. And so I'm really excited to have those. Those are the stems that are sold by a company called A Floral. And when you buy them from A Floral, they're quite pricey. They also have a 6-foot garland version of them, which A Floral sells for like $70 or something like that. Kirkland's sells them, but they're sold out and have been sold out all season long. Kirkland sells them, I think the garlands for $40 and the picks for $16 or $17 or something like that. And so I was really pleased to find these at Bachman's, and I got them for, I think, 25% off of whatever that tag price said. So 25% off of $15. So that was my investment for this year. Those 4 hollies, those 2 bushes, and those 6 Norfolk pine stems. But all of the rest of the stuff I already had in my stash. Let's keep looking. I got more. All right. So I have a nice collection of these very pretty, very realistic, smaller picks. And these are things that I cut apart. They were in a larger pick situation, but I cut them apart so that I could use them in smaller sorts of projects and installations and things. But I just love the way these look. Don't they look real? And then here are some more branches that they're just so drapey and awesome. I really love the way these look too. Some sort of cedar look to them, and they have these pine cones on them. And they just drape so nicely. Here are some really inexpensive berries. These may have come from the Dollar Tree, actually. So I have red and white berries there. I've got berries everywhere, all kinds of berries. Here are some more branches. I like these because they're kind of sparse. They give a different kind of a feel to them. Now, whatever tree this is intended to emulate, we don't have in our local area. I'm imagining that these come from somewhere in a mountainous region, maybe Colorado, maybe in the Rockies or somewhere else. I don't know. But whatever it is, whatever it's intended to be, I really like it. So I have, looks like 6 of those. I have a bunch of these. These are mixed stems as well. 2 or 3 different kinds of evergreen picks all put together here. But again, they're all super realistic and really nice to have, like the big cones on these. Here are some more picks. More picks. These look really real, don't you think? And then here are some white pine. These look a little less real just because of the way that they're put together on the stem. But when you mix them in with other greens, they fit in really nicely. Here are some more. This is a mixed berry stem. Mixed green stem. It's got lots of different sorts of things in it, including red berries. There's some more. That's my door swag, so that is not available to me. And hey, while we're here, let's take a look at my start on the Christmas tree. I really could stop here. I love the way this has come together. I've got 8 garlands of ornaments. These are ones that I made myself. I've got 30 stems of red berries. I've got 6 huge balls, a dozen this size, and a dozen this size of red balls. And I really could stop here and be quite happy. But we are going to be putting all of the family ornaments on here, all of the heirloom ornaments. You know, the ones that all come with a story, the ones you picked up while you traveled, the ones that you gave your kids, etc. So, but this is how the tree is starting out. This is what I call the base of the Christmas tree. And I do love it. Again, green and red. This really is my jam. Okay, so that was an impromptu tour of my my holiday evergreen stash and my Christmas tree. And you might have gotten a peek of all of my decoration boxes hanging out in the foyer over there. It's a hot mess right over there right now. But anyway, so back to the garland. I want to add lots and lots of greenery to make it really lush and really full, realistic looking. I'm going to be using some red balls for decorating like I have on the tree to tie those together. I'm going to be using red berries as well, and who knows what else. But first, greens. I really think I want to focus, well, this is what the hard part is for me, is the deciding what to do, what to use, what to leave behind. I have all these greens, but I also have a big house, so I can't use all of these here. Plus, it wouldn't really fit all of them here. But just like, what look am I going for? Really lush and really real. So I think I'm gonna use these 6 Norfolk pine sprays that I got from Bachman's. Let's see what those look like first. Looks like I need to even take the tags off of them. Now, some people cut their stems. Some people fold their stems and bend them. I'm going to see if I can leave them straight and have them hidden in this garland, because I kind of don't want to cut them in case I want to use them with their long version later. So, all right. So of course you can bend things, and when you're mixing garlands together, you take the base garland and kind of weave it around. Pull those branches forward, tuck these branches back. Make it look like it's all in the same garland. That looks all right. I am going to go for symmetry here. So whatever I do on the left, I'm going to do on the right as well. Now, I'm just tucking this stem up behind the garland where it's connected with the S hook. And just tucking it in there and using basically friction to hold it in place. Get some of this base garland on the top of it. Some of these bottom branches coming out from behind. Let this pine cone show through here. They have a hole here, but I'll probably be able to put something else there. All right, how's that looking? I don't know if I'm going to leave the camera running and just come back to you at the end, or if I'm going to talk through every single step. I don't know. We're going to play that one by ear, aren't we? This one is really droopy, really nice. This feels like it would go in the corner really well. Okay, so I have 2 more of these Norfolk pine, and I have 2 blank spaces. So that works out pretty well, doesn't it? I ought to be able to fill these in right here. The only thing I'm worried about is this stick kind of hanging out low. So I'm going to bend the stick to follow the curve back up into there. I'm just fussing around with the base garland and this Norfolk pine garland to try to integrate them. I don't want to fully cover up the base garland. I do want to see them, especially the realistic looking branches on it. So I'm using the more fakey looking branches of the base garland to wrap and twist around the stem of the things I'm adding in. But I'm using the realistic looking tips of the base garland to pull forward and actually be prominently featured. And also, of course, I want to see those pine cones too. All right, how's that looking so far? What do you think? Do you like it? All right, so the middle is empty. I'm going to look around and see if I have any of my smaller picks that kind of blend and match with that Norfolk pine and see if I can make something look good there. So I don't have anything in the small size that looks a lot like that Norfolk pine, but I do have these really floppy, bendy cypress looking things. And so the other way to go about it, since I don't have any that match exactly, the other thing I could do, and I'm going to do, is to pick something that's obviously different and make it kind of a centerpiece here, like an arrangement on its own that's in the center, so that the side swoops can support the center big flashy arrangement. So with that in mind, I just have to figure out what I want to put into the center arrangement as my flashy arrangement in the center. And I love these picks so much. So I'm wondering if I can figure out a way to use these here in the middle. That would be dramatic, wouldn't it? How's that look? Looks ridiculous, doesn't it? Yeah, that's not right. Holly, the holly that I got. I can make a big centerpiece of holly there. Oh, and also I'm going to be putting on some of those big round ball ornaments. So I figure out how to arrange this holly as a spray like that, and then another one on the other side, and then put 3 big round balls in there. That might be nice, don't you think? Try that. Now, again, on these holly branches, I really don't want to cut the stems, but they're super long. But they're so realistic looking. Look at that. They're so awesome. And I just feel bad cutting them. So I could bend them. Lots of folks bend them to fit them into arrangements. And then bend them again, like that. They're so stiff. You have to have a strong grip to make that work. It kind of didn't work. Maybe I'll just bend them in half, like that. All right, I think I'm going to add my big shiny ornaments first in the center, and then I'm going to see how it's looking. I'm just using some pipe cleaner wire here to wire them on, right onto the things that are already up in here. These are technically not the same color as what's on the tree, but I think they're gonna blend beautifully and no one will be the wiser. But I need to go get some paddle wire so I can string a bunch of them together. I'll be right back. Paddle wire, string this on here, and do a little twist so that it stays in place. And then I'll string another. This one's slightly different size, slightly different finish. Put that on here so that they're little twinsies, and then twist. All right, now I've got a little trio here, and I'm gonna wire this in. And I'm gonna rewire this one. The first wire I had this on was too short, and so it fell off. All right, so I like that, and now I'm gonna put some more of the smaller ones over here to hold this one kind of out and away. And I think I might just do 2 of the smaller ones over here, just so that it's not too matchy-matchy and samey-samey. I have so many of these shatterproof ornament collections from Dollar Tree, Walmart, Michael's, Target, all the different places. And so they're all kind of similar but different and blending. There we go. Great, I like how that's working. Kind of looks fun. What do you think? All right, so now these holly things, I would like for this to be a little bit more impactful even. So what can I do? I have these, I could stick some in. Can't have too much red in my opinion. So I'm just fluffing out the branches here so they're not all clumped up like that. Make them look a little bit more free and natural. How's that? Ooh, brings out that red off to the side. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna try it on the other side too. And now I'm starting to really tie in with what's on the main Christmas tree, which I like to do. Okay, so now the question is, do I want more stuff out on the ends? Do I want to put a red arrangement like that over on this corner and over on this corner? Or should we just go with the really full, really lush center and let that be done out there? Also, to light or not to light? That is the question. Let me try something. Let me try putting one of these swags that I just love in here and see how that looks. I don't hate it. I think it's a yes. I think it's a yes. I think this one's just a little bit too much because I'm hiding all my good Norfolk pine there. So I'm gonna leave these 2 on the ends that I put in, but I'm not gonna put them in the middle. So what else could I do in the middle? Because I feel like it's a little ho-hum in this section and in this section. So how to get away from the ho-hum, ho-hum. How about this one? Would that look good? Let's find out. It looks nice. Okay, so I've got big red stuff here. Big red berries, medium red berries, big balls, medium balls. I've got little darker red berries here and just a few of them. Just a few tiny little berries poking out here. And same thing on the other end. So I think I need some more little berries in this area. So I found these picks that have a mixture of sizes of berries on them. They also have a mixture of greenery. So that'll be a really nice, I think, hopefully, addition to this mixed greenery garland. Let's see how it goes. So that brought just a little bit of red right here. That's good. So now, same thing on that side. Now it's feeling empty right here and right here. Let me step back and look at it. Maybe it's not really empty there. Maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself. Yeah, I feel like there's a hole right here where all I can see is this ugly, cheap garland, because my beautiful other realistic garlands are above and below it. So I need something here that's more realistic looking. How about some of these little guys? I don't have any of these in here yet, and they're little. They could fill a little space. Yeah, that was just the ticket. Excellent. I may be done. I really love the way this has come together. And now I think the last question is, does it need twinkle lights? It looks so realistic. I hate to put lights on it. That makes no sense. Lights are on real trees too. You know what? I need one more ball here and I need something down here. So it's not done yet. I lied. Actually, I think that something down there could be these berries. Why not? This would be the only asymmetric element. This centerpiece here is not entirely symmetric. So I'm going to bend this like this. So I'm going to stick this in behind these balls, and then the berries will come out down here. Okay, I'm going to stand here right beside you, and I'm going to look at it with you. Let's look. That big blob of balls in the middle is bothering me a little bit. I think it's not right yet. I think it still needs a red ball right here. All right, friends, I think the greens, the berries, they're done. Now I just have to decide about the lights. I think for now, I'm not going to put lights on it, but I might decide to put lights on it later. But for now, I think it's done. Let's take a closer look at it. Well, I guess you can see that I decided to go ahead and put lights on the garland. I just thought that once I turned off all the, I have some studio lights running right now so that you can see actually what I'm doing. And once I turned those off, it was just really dark and I couldn't really see any of the details. So I went ahead and I strung some LED, just plain old warm white LED lights. It's a string of, I believe, 70 lights, so 35 on each side. So it's not overly lit. It's just enough, I think. Just enough to sparkle a little bit. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed what you saw. I hope it gave you a little bit of inspiration to get out there and look for some realistic but faux evergreens for your holiday decors. Go ahead and just buy a few stems per year, or if you want to splurge and go for it, that would be great too. Don't pay anything full price. Make sure you're using coupons or finding sale items. End of season sales, you might get lucky if things are not too picked over. And just enjoy putting together some realistic looking greenery for your holiday decor. Well, and I thought you might want a little bit of behind the scenes here at Decorating at Harmony Hills. We got boxes and bins all over the place. The whole foyer is just filled with Christmas decorations. So much more to come here at Harmony Hills Home and Garden. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.